You are chilling at home, at work, or walking down the street when suddenly you come across a wild animal out of its habitat, a tiger strolling on the sidewalk, a bear entering a store, or a jaguar jumping over walls in the middle of the city. It might look like a movie scene, but these real moments were captured by security cameras and cell phones around the world and went viral on social media. That is exactly what we're going to see here today. On August 2, 2019, during the traditional parade called Ride for the Brand in Colorado Springs, Colorado, United States, a longhorn cow escaped from the herd and caused a tense moment in the city center. The animal ran through the busy streets, frightening pedestrians and at one point crashing into the lobby of the Plaza of the Rockies building, surprising everyone inside. The cow, which was about 16 years old, was not used to the urban environment. According to the owner, Russell Freeman, the noise and heavy commotion contributed to the animal's agitated behavior. Fortunately, no one was hurt during the incident. The situation was quickly brought under control by experienced cowboys. Stephen Heitman, the head horse trainer at the ranch where the cow lived, rode his horse into the building and lassoed the cow inside the lobby, safely leading her back to the street. The moment was recorded by several people present and shared on social media. In June 2015, a devastating flood hit Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, resulting in the deaths of at least 14 people and the destruction of much of the city's zoo. The flood was caused by the Veer River overflowing after heavy rains, which inundated residential areas and the local zoo. With the zoo's facilities destroyed, various animals escaped and were seen wandering through the city streets. Among the escaped animals were lions, tigers, bears, wolves, hyenas, and even a hippopotamus, which was found in one of Tbilisi's main squares and sedated with a tranquilizer dart. Unfortunately, many of these animals were killed by authorities for posing risks to the population, while others were recaptured or drowned. The incident also claimed the lives of 3 zoo employees who died trying to save the animals during the flood. In addition, a white tiger that had escaped was responsible for the death of a man before being shot by authorities. The tragedy highlighted the need for more effective emergency plans for zoos in disaster-prone areas. Since then, institutions around the world have reviewed and improved their safety protocols to protect both animals and local communities in emergency situations. An astonishing video went viral on social media, showing the moment when 3 giant snakes fell from a house ceiling in Malaysia. The incident occurred in February 2023 in the town of Bentong, near Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Residents had heard noises coming from the ceiling and called the authorities. During the attempt to remove the animals, part of the ceiling collapsed under the weight of the snakes, revealing that they were reticulated pythons measuring about 4 to 5 meters in length and weighing between 25 and 32 kilograms each. The snakes were mating in the ceiling cavity, which may have contributed to the collapse. Fortunately, no one was injured, and the reptiles were captured by rescue teams and later released in a safe area. An impressive video shows a leopard running through an urban area in India and attacking a motorcyclist who was riding along a road. The leopard appears sprinting between some buildings in the video, filmed by someone from a higher vantage point. The animal clearly looked frightened until at one point it moved onto the adjacent street and encountered a passing motorcyclist. Without hesitation, it attacked him alongside his bike, knocking him to the ground and then running off. The motorcyclist was very startled and backed away, while others tried to scare the animal away. Another man who approached by throwing stones to try to chase the leopard away was also attacked, being knocked to the ground, but fortunately was not seriously hurt. After a few tense moments, the leopard left. In October 2023, a black bear starred in an unusual scene when it broke into the home of Helena Richardson in Barkhamsted, Connecticut, United States. The animal was caught on the home's Ring security cameras wandering through the rooms for about 35 minutes. In the video, the bear is seen entering through the screen door, strolling calmly through the living room and heading to the kitchen. There, it stood up on its hind legs, opened the freezer drawer, and pulled out a frozen lasagna prepared by Helena's mother. Then, the bear used the open drawer as support to reach an open window, through which it escaped carrying its meal. Helena, who was at work at the time, received a notification from her security camera indicating movement in her house. When she checked the footage, she came face to face with the unexpected visitor. She shared the video on her social media, and the images quickly spread across the internet. In May 2021, residents of a suburban neighborhood in Houston, Texas, United States, experienced tense moments when they encountered a Bengal tiger roaming the streets. The feline, identified as India, was wearing a collar and was filmed by various residents as it calmly walked along the sidewalks and gardens of the neighborhood. In one video, a man carrying a gun confronted the animal's alleged owner, demanding that he take it back inside. After the incident, the tiger's owner, Victor Hugo Cuevas, fled the scene with the animal in a vehicle before the authorities arrived. The escape triggered an intense search that lasted almost a week. The tiger was finally located and handed over to authorities by Gia Cuevas, Victor's wife, who contacted the Houston Police Department to surrender the animal. The case sparked debates about exotic pet ownership in residential areas and highlighted the need for stricter regulations to prevent similar situations in the future. In April 2022, a large alligator was spotted crawling through a residential yard in Venice, Florida, United States, before entering a community lake. The video, captured by deputies from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, shows the reptile, approximately 3 meters long, moving calmly across the property until reaching Harrington Lake. Authorities notified the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and alerted residents about the animal's presence, as an attack by a reptile of that size can be fatal to any human.
Look at that.
That sounded like it hurt.
Incidents like this are common in Florida, especially during spring when alligators become more active due to the mating season. In April 2024, residents of Butte, Montana, United States, were stunned to see an elephant walking through the city streets. The animal, an Asian elephant of 58 years named Viola, escaped from the Jordan World Circus after being startled by a car backfire while she was bathing in the circus parking lot. Viola walked down one of the city's main avenues, halting traffic and drawing the attention of drivers and pedestrians who recorded the moment on videos that quickly spread on social media. In one of the recordings, she is seen crossing multiple lanes of a road, forcing cars to stop. The escape lasted between 10 and 20 minutes. During this time, Viola walked through various parts of town. Fortunately, she was recaptured unharmed and caused no significant damage beyond some droppings along the way.
Elephant walking down the road. Oh my god.
Despite the scare, Viola performed normally in the circus shows that night and the following day in Helena. However, the incident drew criticism from animal rights groups, who raised concerns about Viola's welfare and questioned the safety of keeping elephants in circuses. Imagine walking down the street and coming face to face with an enormous elephant charging at you. That is exactly what some people experienced, and the moment was captured on video. In the footage, an elephant that, according to reports, had escaped from where it lived suddenly appears on a busy street, charging at some passers-by. Upon seeing the furious elephant, a man nearby even ran away. The tense scene frightened residents, but fortunately, no one was injured. The video does not show what happened next, but according to reports, authorities were called and the animal was contained, being taken back to its enclosure. Striking footage captured the moment a Bengal tiger was seen roaming the streets of Tequala, Nayarit, Mexico. The widely shared video on social media shows the feline walking calmly along a sidewalk in a residential area, just a few meters from onlookers who watched with surprise and caution. At one point in the recording, the tiger lies down on the sidewalk, displaying behavior more typical of a domesticated animal than a wild one. Shortly after, a man approaches, pets the animal, and places a rope around its neck, leading it as if it were a pet. This behavior suggests the tiger may be accustomed to human contact or even kept as a domestic animal, raising concerns about exotic pet ownership in residential areas. The incident sparked various reactions on social media, with users expressing both fascination and concern about the presence of the large feline in an urban area. Some commented on the animal's calmness, while others questioned the legality and safety of keeping a tiger in a domestic setting. In March 2016, drivers in Doha, Qatar, were surprised by a Bengal tiger wandering freely on one of the city's busiest expressways. The animal escaped from a moving truck, fell onto the road, and wandered among vehicles during a traffic jam. Images shared on social media show the tiger with a broken chain around its neck, indicating it was likely kept as a pet. The incident raised concerns about the ownership of wild animals as pets, an illegal practice in the country but still common among some residents. Local authorities investigated the case and identified the tiger's owner, who faced legal charges for keeping a wild animal in captivity. A homeowner captured on her security camera the moment when a feline, specifically a lioness, climbed onto her gate and stayed there for a few moments. The camera footage shows the supposedly quiet location until, suddenly, the lioness appears, climbs onto the pillar next to the gate, and remains there looking around as if searching for something or possibly some food. Luckily, no one was passing by at that time, and she had no pets nearby. Otherwise, they might have become a meal. According to the homeowner's own account, she had heard a strange noise outside that night, and for that reason, the next day she reviewed the camera footage, which revealed the unusual situation. On the morning of September 1, 2020, residents of the Nove de Julho neighborhood in Cerqueira, Cesar, São Paulo, Brazil, were surprised by a puma roaming the streets of the area. The feline was spotted strolling freely through the neighborhood and even entered a house, but no one was attacked. The animal was captured by the fire department. A video circulating on social media shows residents chasing the animal. The driver who recorded the footage followed the puma through several streets to warn neighbors about the danger. In the recordings, you can see a woman walking when she is surprised by the feline, and the driver shouting for her to get out of the way. After its stroll through the neighborhood, the animal entered a construction site and ended up in the backyard of the local health center, but did not gain access to the building's interior. The Avar Fire Department from a neighboring city was called and captured the animal. The rescue was carried out by teams from the fire department, the Municipal Environment Secretariat, the Environmental Military Police, the Military Police, and the Center for Wildlife Medicine and Research. The animal was sedated, captured, and released back into the wild. In May 2020, residents of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, were stunned to see a Bengal tiger roaming the city streets. The animal, which apparently had escaped from private property, was walking freely among cars, causing astonishment and concern among drivers and pedestrians. Footage captured by witnesses shows 3 men trying to capture the tiger. One of them, wearing a cowboy hat, managed to lasso the animal with a rope, while another used a folding chair to help contain it. Despite the tense moment, the capture was executed without harm to the animal or people involved. After the incident, Mexico's Federal Attorney for Environmental Protection launched an investigation to identify those responsible for the tiger's ownership. During the inquiry, 2 tigers were seized, and authorities verified the legality of the animal's documentation and living conditions. In January 2023, a tiger was spotted by security cameras roaming the streets of a metropolitan area in Johannesburg, South Africa. The animal, apparently a young tiger of about 9 months, was filmed around 5:20 in the morning, walking calmly through the parking lot of a business park. The incident caused great concern among local residents, especially because it occurred less than 2 weeks after another case involving a tigress named Sheba, who escaped from her property and was shot after attacking people and animals. Private security teams and local authorities were mobilized to locate and capture the tiger. Drones were used in the search, and the public was advised to keep children and pets indoors. Although reports indicated the tiger was sedated and taken to a safe location by a private security firm, there is no official confirmation due to the company's lack of transparency. Authorities stated they had not received any formal confirmation about the animal's whereabouts or health status and launched an investigation to clarify the case. In September 2022, a brown bear surprised a convenience store clerk in California, United States, by entering the store in the middle of the night and helping itself to chocolate bars. The incident was recorded by security cameras and quickly spread on social media. The employee, Christopher Kinson, 54 years old, reported that he was working the night shift when he noticed the store door opening, but saw no one entering. Looking down, he realized it was a large brown bear. The animal entered calmly, grabbed a chocolate bar, and left. This behavior repeated several times, with the bear returning for more sweets. Kinson said that despite the initial scare, he stayed calm and watched the animal from a distance, ready to flee through the back door if necessary. After a few visits, Kinson tried to prevent the bear's entry by blocking the door with a garbage bag and a mop. The incident drew attention to how frequently brown bears have been seen in urban areas of California, especially in search of easy food sources like dumpsters and convenience stores. In March 2021, a kangaroo named Jack caused surprise when it was seen loose on the streets of Winfield, Alabama, United States. The animal had escaped from its handlers while awaiting transport to another state. The company responsible for transporting exotic animals reported that Jack was supposed to stay a few days at a local farm before moving on, but he escaped and fled into a nearby wooded area. Attempts to recapture him were made, including using food as bait, but with no immediate success. Reports say that an interstate highway had to be temporarily closed because the animal was roaming freely on the roadway. The incident gained attention on social media, with videos showing the kangaroo hopping through city streets. Residents were advised not to approach the animal and to inform authorities if they spotted it, until it was finally captured. A wild elephant named Plai Bunchwai broke into a kitchen in a house in Hua Hin, southern Thailand, in search of food, and the footage captured by the homeowner went viral online. The animal broke through the kitchen wall and used its trunk to rummage through cabinets and drawers, knocking over utensils and grabbing what appeared to be a plastic bag with liquid, which it put to its mouth. The homeowner reported that she had been sleeping when she heard noise coming from the kitchen. Upon checking, she found the elephant's head inside the kitchen, where the wall had already been damaged by a previous visit from the same animal. Such incidents have become more common in the region, especially near national parks where elephants live. Urban expansion and the search for food have led these animals to more frequent interactions with humans, which of course can be very dangerous. An astonishing video that circulated on social media shows a woman carrying a young lion in her arms through the streets of Sabahiyah, southern Kuwait. The feline, which had escaped from its residence, was rescued by its owner, who held it by the front paws while it struggled and roared. The scene, recorded by neighbors, quickly went viral, generating surprise and concern among internet users. Although it is illegal to keep wild animals as pets in Kuwait, the practice is still common in some Gulf countries. In this case, environmental authorities confirmed the lion belonged to the woman and her father. After the incident, the police helped contain the animal and return it to captivity. The episode drew much attention because of how the woman carried the large feline as if it were just an ordinary kitten. During the COVID-19 lockdown, the streets of Adelaide, South Australia, were deserted, creating an unusual scene. A kangaroo was caught on surveillance cameras hopping through the empty city center. The South Australia police shared the video on social media, joking that officers tracked a suspect wearing a gray fur coat hopping through the heart of the city in the morning. The marsupial was seen quickly crossing the streets, dodging a car at an intersection before heading towards a park. According to police, the unusual silence due to the lockdown likely attracted the animal into the urban center. Adelaide, a coastal city with more than 1,200,000 inhabitants, was under strict restrictions, allowing outings only for essential activities, which resulted in virtually empty streets. An impressive video captured the moment when a huge monitor lizard invaded a supermarket in Thailand, startling customers and staff. The incident occurred in October 2023, and security camera footage showed the reptile emerging from the ceiling and walking over one of the store's refrigerated display cases. Initially, onlookers seemed curious, but as the animal moved, some screams of surprise were heard. Fortunately, the lizard was removed safely without injuring anyone. Because of its impressive size, many people mistook it for a Komodo dragon. Monitor lizards, like the one involved in this incident, can reach up to 2.5 meters in length, making them the world's second-largest lizard species, only behind the Komodo dragon. These reptiles are common in urban areas of Thailand and occasionally enter establishments in search of food. In February 2016, an 8-year-old male leopard invaded the Vibgyor International School in Bangalore, southern India. The incident happened on a Sunday when no students were present. During an almost 10-hour operation to capture the animal, 6 people were injured, including environmental scientist Sanjay Gubbi, a forest department official, and a cameraman from a local TV station. Fortunately, all suffered only minor injuries. Security camera footage from the school showed the leopard roaming the premises, including the pool area, and attacking some of the people involved in the capture attempt. The animal was finally tranquilized during the night and later transferred to a national park. This episode highlighted the challenges India faces due to the increasing overlap between urban areas and natural habitats. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.